So we know that Lisa is somebody that lives paycheck to paycheck, somebody that has to borrow money from her friend because she's someone who decides to send all of her money to Daniel in Nigeria. The whole thing is nothing but a calamity. And it's crazy because she also has to provide for herself, and I believe even for her daughter as well, because in the show, the daughter does reference or speak about her mum in the sense of they live together. And of course, we've seen them wake up in the same home. So that does really beg the question, does the daughter not work neither? If so, why doesn't she work? But either way though, it doesn't change the information that we are about to discover right here, right now, that has been reported by Sarcasm. As you can see, before the 90 days, Lisa and daughter Faith, obviously that's a child, eviction process started December 16th. This is bad. As you can see on the new season of 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, 52-year-old Lisa is flying to Nigeria to meet her 39-year-old construction worker boyfriend Daniel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she has got a man in Nigeria who works. He has a job. He earns money, but for some reason, he still needs to take her money out of her back pocket. Why? Well, in case you haven't seen my most recent upload of the most recent episode of Before the 90 Days, episode 4, I recommend you watch it and you really will get a better picture of my idea of why she sends money to him. Yeah, so please do check it out. Now, with that being said, it continues here by saying Lisa has been married 5 times before and she's only been with women for 21 years. Yes, but she truly believes Daniel is the one. So she went from being married to men to then being married to women. It's absolutely crazy. And also on top of that, she also went from, having a daughter that was born in one location, and then the older the daughter got, the daughter then ended up having no friends. Why? Because the daughter ended up having to move 15 times because mommy struggled to find love that was sustainable. Now, listen, maybe the daughter does have friends, but I'm only assuming that she has no friends, because if you're moving schools 15 times, how do you really build a relationship with other children? It's a bit hard. And also on top of that, I think the daughter's even single as well. And to be fair with you, all of these things, if you ask me personally, are due to the mother's neglect, if you ask me personally. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Most of the time when you see stories of people that are on 600-pound life, some of their stories is based on the fact that because they were neglected by their parents, food was their only friend. And for me personally, I do believe that potentially the reason why her daughter is on the plus side of things is probably because mommy neglected most of the time and just gave her food just to shut her up. That's just my assumption. But anyway, we continue. Lisa's daughter Faith expressed her concerns about the trip. In addition to her mother's history of failed marriages, Faith also says she and her mum are struggling financially. My mum and I have been having a lot of hard times right now financially, Faith says, before adding that her mum had borrowed a lot of money from her friend Junior. And this is the thing, when it comes to the mum borrowing money from her friend Junior, she wasn't just borrowing money to help her with the everyday expenses, but she also was borrowing money from her friend so she can send that same money that she borrowed to her friend to Daniel. Yes, the Nigerian husband, the Nigerian boyfriend that she has, who is also a worker. Can we make sense out of some things? Yeah, about that. Now it continues here by saying that she is in so much debt it has me feeling more on edge, Faith adds. Now, it continues here by saying that Faith mentions that some of the money Junior gave Lisa was to help us with bills. That makes sense because it appears Faith and her mum were living together. Unfortunately, it seems their financial struggles have continued because their landlord started the eviction process last week. It's crazy because here's the thing, folks. You won't get paid for being a 90 Day Fiance until the show airs. So it's kind of a damn shame that they're only getting paid now, because obviously if they'll get paid a little bit earlier, maybe they'd have avoided eviction. But at the same time though, is the money you get from the show enough for you to pay for your bills? That is something that is probably very, very subjective. And to be fair, even the money they got from the show, who's to say that the mum would have kept it or Lisa would have kept it for herself and for her daughter? To be fair, based on the fact that she gives all of her money to Daniel, I wouldn't be surprised if she gave probably about 90% of it, if not all of it, to Daniel. Let's just call it what it is. Because that woman will prioritize somebody else over her own child. There's a fine line with prioritizing someone else over yourself. But prioritizing somebody over yourself when you've got a kid means you're prioritizing someone else over your child. And again, this is why I assume that there's been a lot of neglect over the years. If anything, maybe her daughter Faith has actually had to raise her own mum this whole bloody time. Who knows? But either way, though, we continue. It says Lisa and Faith facing eviction. According to the court documents, a landlord/tenant complaint was filed against Lisa and her daughter and a man by the King of Prusia apartment complex. We do not have any additional information on the man named in the filing. His name is not Daniel, though. So here's the question: is this man maybe somebody who is new in Lisa's life, or is he actually a man that's maybe in her daughter's life? Again, we do not know, but either way, though, let's continue. The complaint was filed earlier this month, and it was served and it was served to all three tenants of the apartment the next day. The claim amount listed to a complaint of 3,000. Let's just say 3,000. Okay. Actually, no, let's round up. $3,100. There we go. It's unclear how that amount breaks down in terms of rent and or slash other fees / expenses. Sarcasm is currently working to find out more information. Now, with that being said, I'm actually going to start looking into this myself as well. Okay. Now, with that being said, but then again, I got a feeling they'll find stuff out quicker than me because I'm in the UK, and sometimes trying to get on the the US database or like the US website, sometimes it doesn't let me do it because it says you're not allowed because you're in a foreign country. Oh God. And to be fair, I kid you not, folks, sometimes VPNs don't even work anymore. Literally, so many websites nowadays are literally restricting VPNs from allowing you to appear in another country. Honestly, the internet is becoming a harder place, which to be fair, technically is a good thing for people because it means we're more protected, but then it's kind of a bad thing for people who are trying to find out some tea for you folks, but it is what it is. With that being said, there is a recovery of real property hearing scheduled for the first week of January. Starcast will continue to monitor the case and share any major details. So this is the current situation with Lisa and her daughter Faith. They are in a position where, yeah, they cannot obviously afford their day-to-day expenses when it comes to their bills, amongst anything else. But like I said before, even though that the mum and daughter is now getting paid from the show, but from what I remember though, I don't believe you get paid as soon as you appear. I think you get paid, I believe, after the season's ended. Yes, I remember speaking about this before with another customer. I'm pretty sure that you have to wait until the full season is over and then you get all of your money, all of it, all in one hit. The only time you get paid straight away is the tell-all. So when you film the tell-all, that's a separate payment. You get that paid pretty much in your bank account pretty much that same week you appeared on the tell, from what I understand. But for the season itself, you gotta wait. God, deadly done. Yeah. Either way, you just don't get paid straight away. So yeah, it is a sticky one. But then again, like I said before, who's to say the money would be enough, and who's to say the money would actually go to their struggles? You see what I'm saying? Now, hopefully their friend isn't in the same position, but it'd be a damn shame if the friend was also in the same position because she's always giving money away to her friend Lisa. To be fair, I do wonder, what does Lisa have on her friend? Because her friend, when she was on the show for last week's episode, I didn't understand why the friend was so supportive of Lisa's actions and saying, listen, I'll happily help her. It didn't really make sense to me because usually we experience people come on the show and their friends are always against what that person does, but her friend was very for it. Yeah, very suspect. Interesting. Either way, let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in the comment section. And ladies and gentlemen, in case I do not see you before the year is over, please, Happy New Year. I hope you have a great time. And don't forget, folks, that then again, I don't know when I'm uploading this video, so never mind. Either way, I hope you have a very happy New Year. I'm down and I'm out. Peace.